Like, bruh. Like, okay. Just a final warning. This is a spoilers discussion. I'm not really going to call it a review. It's definitely more of a reaction.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, definitely a bit of both.
Yeah, I don't
know. We'll find a better title for it later.
What a good movie, though.
Start to finish.
So good.
Start to finish. The pacing was solid. Like, I didn't feel bored at all.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to like look elsewhere or anything. Like, it kept my attention the entire time, which I enjoyed.
But it also wasn't overbearing. It wasn't like I need a break from the action either. Like, it was well built. They did a damn good job.
The only thing I can nitpick on is probably just the amount of comedy.
But I also get it because it's geared towards a younger audience because Spider-Man.
I get it.
So
too.
I give them a break. Like, if they did that with Doctor Strange, I'd be mad.
And it was proper Spider-Man humor.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it could have been spaced out a little bit more with less.
Yeah.
Or like less is more kind of.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. There were some.
But it was good comedy than what they gave us.
Definitely.
Definitely enjoyable.
Definitely jokes that you're going to hear all around the internet. I'm looking forward to the memes.
Definitely looking forward to hearing that Led Zeppelin made Back in Black and not AC/DC.
I'm looking forward to the Peter Tingle.
Peter Tingle. Yes.
It's going to be all over the internet.
It's no longer Spidey senses.
Nope, it's going to be Peter Tingle. It's going to be that meme with the dude, and he's like studying or like praying, and he's like all blue, and it's gonna be like Spider Sense, and then the next meme is gonna be like expanded like alternate universe shit, and it's gonna be like Peter Tingle. Like when they go, "Your mom gay?" No, you.
Damn.
Okay, so what do all Spider-Man movies have in common? Specifically, the second movie in like the series is.
What do you mean? Like, this being the second movie, right?
Yeah, so this is the second one for MCU Spider-Man. Then we had Tobey Maguire, his second one. And then we had Andrew Garfield in his second one. What does a second movie always have in common?
The love figures out that it's Spider-Man.
No, even worse than that.
Yeah?
Even worse than that.
What do you got?
The whole conflict between being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker.
That's true.
It's definitely there. You already saw that in the previews, but I want to give credit to the movie for not taking away all his powers and making him, like, making that be the obstacle. Like, he explains in the movie at some point, he's like, I still have my spider sense, Peter Tingle. He's like, but it's acting up. And I totally accredit that to that cross between how do I be Spider-Man, how do I, be Peter Parker at the same time. So they didn't, in my opinion, they balanced it well. Like with Tobey Maguire, I hated going to watch a Spider-Man movie and not seeing Spider-Man because he didn't have powers.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a takeaway for me. So I think they did a really good job of playing that storyline again for the third time, basically.
But I think that's a good point, and I do like that they did it differently here, whereas you're not taking his entire powers away, or he's not thinking about quitting being Spider-Man. It's more like, how do I handle it?
Right. At the end of the day, he just like, I just want to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and they were like, nah, bitch, like, you're gonna do it all. But.
And then the big thing is like, where does he take it from there now?
Yeah. I'm really interested in, like, I've heard like the crossovers, and I didn't see anything related to Venom. I don't know, I'm gonna go back and watch the amazing channels. Like, shout out to New Rockstar, shout out to Emergency Awesome. Definitely gonna watch all of their videos and their breakdowns and see what I missed, because I'm sure I missed something.
Same thing with the Angry Joe Show.
Yeah, especially the Angry Joe Show. I want to check out his review. There's another one that actually does something similar, like right outside the movie theater. But okay, so let's talk about let's talk about Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson?
Yeah. Let's talk about him for a minute, because something happened at the end of the movie, and I think they're setting him up to be a bigger character in the next one. Did you catch it?
I don't think I did, no. I think I was more amazed of like just the fact that, what are they called? Kroll?
The Skrull.
Skrull? Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember. We'll get to that.
I get them mixed up with the Orville show, the one with Seth MacFarlane, because their aliens look very similar. Like them.
Well, that is like generic alien that's not trying to probe us. Look.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is.
But anyway, back to what you were saying.
When all of Peter's friends and stuff got picked up from the airport, Flash's parents were not there. You didn't catch that?
Oh, you mean the one, that dude who's always on his phone?
Yeah,
and
that's
he was
Flash
like, Mom
Thompson.
didn't come?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, he said that the scene in the vault where he's like, I just do this for likes and it doesn't even matter. I just want people to pay attention to me. Like he looked like he was about to have a moment, and then Happy cut him off and was like, no, you did good. But then later on, yeah, that's what I said. I think they're setting it up. I think they very subtly set him up.
So you think he could be Venom?
I think he could be Venom.
That would be really good.
I don't remember. I know Eddie Brock. Everybody knows Eddie Brock, but I know that there was somebody else that had one of the symbiotes, and I think it was Flash. I know Flash finds out about Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure that'll happen in the third movie.
That would be really
but I know
good.
somebody else got a symbiote too, and I think it's Flash. I got to do the research later and find out. I'll have the whole video showing
In any
clips and
case,
stuff.
Venom has to come first before Carnage, because Carnage is a symbiote that came from Venom.
Except, and the main issue is that Sony still has Venom rights.
Fucking Sony.
And after this year, Sony has Spider-Man rights again too. They have to resell back to Marvel.
Well, with the success that it's been, there's no way they can say no, right?
They could easily say no, take him back for a movie, ride that success train, make a fuck ton of money with a shitty Sony movie.
Don't you do it, Sony.
Listen, Sony.
Listen. Let's break it simple. Keep giving this to Marvel, because they've been doing a fantastic job with it.
So good.
So much better than the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield movies, although they weren't bad.
Andrew Garfield was too cocky.
Yes.
I didn't feel like I was watching a high school nerd. So much that I felt like he was just a popular kid.
He didn't feel like Spider-Man at all. Peter Parker felt like...
Peter Parker, hopefully.
Tobey Maguire felt like Spider-Man.
Tobey did in the first one for me.
Yeah.
And the second one, I was like, again, but they aged him up a lot too. Like he went to college by the second one. And then it was a lot more of that real life drama, lifetimes of Peter Parker. And then in the third one, it was just kind of ridiculous. But watching, Venom in that was cool. And then in the Andrew Garfield ones, like I enjoyed him as Spider-Man. He had that cocky nature and stuff when he was Spider-Man, but then he also had it when he was Peter Parker, and I was like, that's not my Peter.
His humor was better than Tobey Maguire's humor, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll give him that.
Definitely, hands down. But I like that, like, you've got this young cast that work well together.
Yeah.
What do you think about Mary Jane?
It's a different take, for sure, because, in the first series with Tobey Maguire, Mary Jane is... not to the degree of what we have now, because she wasn't as sarcastic or anything like that.
I thought she was useless.
You think so?
And Tobey Maguire's Mary Jane? Yes.
Yes.
But what did she do? What did she do?
She was just plot, really.
Yeah. She was just plot.
She was just plot.
She was a Sakura of Tobey Maguire's fucking... Yo, what, am I wrong though? She was useless, Chan.
Senpai?
Yeah, exactly. And then Tobey Garfield had Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And then Gwen Stacy is a total different person with Into the Spider-Verse.
And Into the Spider-Verse did it better.
Yes.
Even for giving her basically no real plot, they did it better.
But yeah, in this one, Mary Jane was definitely just plot. They didn't really feel like too much character development from her.
You didn't think so? Mm-mm. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I gotta disagree with you. Okay, so
it just feels forced at the end because...
Well, no, not stressing the end part. Not stressing the end part, but here's the one thing that I noticed. In the first movie, Peter, not far from home, Homecoming, he liked somebody that wasn't Mary Jane at all, so you just had her showing up as blips. And for those that had followed along before the movie came out, knew, oh, that's Mary Jane right there. That's MJ, so it was always cool to see her just kind of pop up, say something snarky or dark or creepy, and then disappear again. And you're like, this is a different MJ. And you're like, this is interesting to watch, seeing how... I totally forgot her name just now. The actress? We were just talking about her. The actress that plays her.
The original?
No, current one.
Zendaya,
yeah. Seeing how Zendaya portrays her, I was like, this is very unique, very different than that damsel in distress feeling that, I kind of got out of the first one.
Yeah.
And then in this movie, she acts a lot of the same she still has that, I'm gonna say these dark, creepy, weird lines, but you also see that nervousness came out of being in high school and being like, oh, this is my first real boyfriend type of situation.
I didn't get that.
You didn't catch that?
No.
I was kind of just like trying to like, I don't want to say study her, but like kind of just look at how like her facial expressions changed when she was saying the lines.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie she was very like, I'm in your face and I'm confident, and she would like glare and like do shit like that. And then this one she was a lot more like, it seemed to me anyways, her facial expression said like hesitant to say what she was going to say because she liked Peter and she was like trying to hide her feelings. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I gotta watch it again.
But what if like they play back to like the old, like even like in Spider-Man 3, like how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and what's her name, Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane, like how they're kind of like at odds about each other's relationship by the fact that he is Spider-Man. Do you see that coming into play for the next Spider-Man movie between Zendaya and Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
It's definitely hard to say.
Especially now with that reveal in the mid-credits thing.
Yeah, that's what makes it tough. I don't think I think that she'll trust him, especially after the mid-credit scene, because she already knew what Quentin Beck, what Mysterio was capable of. Yeah. So I think if Peter was like, that didn't happen, and she was like, oh yeah, well he does illusions, so that makes sense, but I could see it dampening shit or making shit harder.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll turn into the Tobey Maguire version where they like straight up split and it was too much. Even though in reality it was his fault at the end of the movie where he was just like, I can't be with you.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. We're not reviewing that one. What'd you think of Mysterio?
I think it was actually better than I expected.
Go hard.
It was better than I expected.
Because he got you, didn't he?
He did get me. Well done, Jake Gyllenhaal. Well done. Especially like once he got Edith, it was like, oh yes, this is the Mysterio I know. Because at first I was like, come on, like when is it like the bad guy in him going to happen? And then the Edith thing, and finally, the only thing that's different is that with his origin story, he turned out to be like kind of like a sidekick to Tony Stark. When really, like, his actual origin story, like, within the comics was that he was a failed actor.
So, isn't he part of the... Yeah, he is a failed actor.
Yeah.
But wasn't he, or doesn't he eventually become part of the Sinister Six?
Not that I recall. Been a while.
With Electro and Vulture and Rhino and
yeah, I think so,
doesn't
yeah.
he become one of them? I don't remember.
And, who else? Scorpion.
I gotta brush up on my Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Doc Ock, Scorpio.
Definitely Doc Ock.
Yeah. Doc Ock's dope.
Who's the next villain?
Probably Doc Ock. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Marvel can do Venom right now. I mean, realistically, Venom would be the next step. Especially if they're gonna stick with the multiverse thing, which I don't want to talk about at all. Y'all just need to watch the movie and see how that plays out.
This is the spoiler section. Come on.
I know, but still, here's what I think of spoilers. There's spoilers, and then there's like, now all the mystery's gone. I don't mind like saying certain things that aren't gonna be like jaw dropping,
Okay.
But that's why I was gonna put the spoiler tag up there, because I don't know what you guys are sensitive to, like But for me personally, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin everything in the damn movie.
So then you think the next villain is going to be Doc Ock?
Unless they get the rights, either Sony or Marvel has to get the rights for at least one film for Spider-Man and Venom in order to pull it off. But they're already making a Venom 2.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're already making a Venom 2. And
I don't know how they come back from the travesty of the first one.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I have no idea who the villain could be. It's definitely one of those things where like it's a villain where it has to be like a one-off thing, kind of like how Vulture was.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they didn't kill Vulture, but they killed Mysterio.
Yeah. So...
Well, at least we think they killed Mysterio.
Illusion, you never know.
Yeah, I really don't know if he's actually dead.
Shoot, it could be one of those aliens. See, I just messed up your world right now.
I don't like you right now.
Dude, those oh god.
Shapeshifters?
Yeah. Who else could be a potential villain for the next movie? Because there's still so many they can bring in. They can bring in the Croc.
Well, I think they're gonna try to avoid doing the ones that have already been done.
Okay, so then probably like Electro, maybe Rhino.
I would enjoy Rhino, but it would go back to like that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I think because of Avengers, like Endgame and Infinity War, it's taken the Spider-Man movies beyond that now. Like even like, you know, Quentin said in the movie, he's like, I have to do something that's Avengers level threat. Because like for me, like when I heard that line, I definitely thought like this movie wouldn't be, you know, as good if it didn't have that type of a threat in it.
So what kind of so then Doc Ock would be like a good like Avengers level kind of threat.
Just because of his mind.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't really, as I'm saying, I couldn't really name somebody else. Rhino is still, he's just an armored dude that wants to rob banks. You know, Vulture,
Sandman,
but they just did the Elementals. So I was like, if they were going to do Sandman, they should have done it with the other Elementals. Like I get why they didn't and why they wouldn't, but
because you also don't want to pull off another Spider-Man 3 where there's just too many villains with not enough story behind each of them to really make them feel like a threat.
Actually, you know what would be really cool? A Green Goblin movie, because they could redo that. And then tie that end to
I don't know why I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you know, if they get rights to like Fantastic Four, then you've got Green Goblin, you've got Doctor Doom. You know, it starts adding up and it starts connecting like the Marvel Spider-Verse, anyways, into its own elaborate. You know, like I would love to see Spider-Man and Fantastic Four teaming up to fight off, you know, Doctor Doom and Green Goblin and Hobgoblin, you know, just going nuts in the town.
But how would you bring in the Osborn at this point with the kind of universe that we have now with the new Marvel Spider-Man? My thought would be put Peter into college and introduce a new character, it being Harry Osborn, being like his college best friend, and then eventually being introduced to his father, Osborn, and then that's where like the Green Goblin can come in.
What if?
Because we don't have Harry as like the best friend in high school.
No, we don't. What if the Osborns or Oscorp bought the old Avengers Tower? What if that was the only introduction?
It would be a different origin story, but I'd fuck with it.
It would make sense. Like, who else could buy it? Who else could have that type of money?
I could fuck with that.
Right?
That's a good theory.
Yeah.
I like that.
Using older Stark Tech to try to catch up. Basically picking up, like, I would love to see, like, going back to an Iron Man 1 Origins, where, like, if Tony never got kidnapped and tried to make the Iron Man suit, if basically Oscorp picked up and started making militarized weapons. You know what I'm saying? So, like, basically, like, I can't remember his first name, but let's just call him Mr. Osborn. Make Mr. Osborn's origin story if Tony went bad.
Okay.
Because if you think about his suit and his tech, you know, it's definitely a dark, twisted, Halloween-esque version of Iron Man 1.
What do you guys think? Like, put your thoughts in the comments. Like, who would be the next villain in the next Spider-Man movie and why?
Yeah, and also tell us what you think, because there's a lot to unravel in this movie. There's a lot we didn't talk about, a lot I don't want to talk about.
So you don't want to talk about the after credits?
No, I don't.
Oh
I don't. Not at all. They can, you know, like they watched it. Matter of fact, here's what I'll do. I'll tag. We got a clip of it, so I'll put that at the end. It won't show the credit scene, but it'll show our reactions, and then people can make decisions for themselves.
Yeah, I think you'll like mine. Because that whole time I was just like, oh my god, nani.
Right? It's a lot. But that's it. Blood Basement, we are signing off. You guys take care.
Leave a like. Share this video with a friend who you think would enjoy some Spider-Man content from some blurs. And most importantly, subscribe. So that way you know when we're next to drop a video. Hit that bell. Ding or dong, as some people would say. And you'll be notified when we upload again.
You know how much more people would hit the bell if it actually made noise?
I wish.
I click it all the time.
You remember that one time where like Google had like a little box in the corner, and it was the Harlem Shake when it was still cool. And when you pressed it, the whole site would shake.
Yep.
That'd be cool. We need a ding or dongs that have noise.
You gotta tell me. It was fine. The little boy handled it. We helped.
Taylor.
Come on, Fred. How was I supposed to know that the whole thing was fake? I mean, that was all very, very convincing. You know, the performances, the illusion, that costume, the craftsmanship and that. I mean, this is just embarrassing for a shapeshifter. Fine. Hey, I hope your mission is going well. We gave the glasses to Parker about a week ago, like you said, and that's very touching, you know, really, really quite touching.
Taylor.
And you know, shortly after that, everything kind of went off the rails, and so we need you to come back, because everyone kept asking me where the Avengers are, and I don't know what to say to that, so you're lucky to find them.